Welcome to Inked Up, where we dive into the fascinating world of permanent makeup. This podcast is brought to you by Highstoke, your trusted PMU growth partner, helping permanent makeup artists succeed through marketing, branding, and scaling strategies. Join us in each episode as we unravel the secrets of this ever-evolving industry and provide valuable insights to help you thrive as a PMU artist.
All right, so we are live, and like I said, we have a very, very exciting guest for you all today. We have the one and only Lili Ma.
Hello! Yay!
Lili!
We're live!
Let's go! Like I was just telling everybody, we have the one and only Lili Ma here. A quick intro. I've known Lili for a couple of years now, and she is a beast. She's amazing. And Lili Ma, for those of you who don't know, she is a master artist, trainer, educator, international speaker. She does so many things. And today, Lili, I'm just really excited to go over a little bit about your journey, highlighting you as an artist, how you got started in this business. And guys, let's make this super engaging too. You're here right now. Show us some love in the comments. Say hi.
Yeah.
Give us a heart. Say hi to Lili. And let's kind of take it back from the beginning.
I didn't know anything about permanent makeup. All I knew was I loved being in the beauty industry. And that was it. That's all I knew. I knew since I was 12 years old that I loved makeup. And there was nothing else that was going to make me do anything else. And so I knew I loved makeup. I knew I loved making people feel beautiful. And I just kind of stumbled into this business. When I first started, I did makeup first as a freelance makeup artist. Did people's makeup, and so I had a lot of experience with eyebrow shaping and what we call now eyebrow mapping. So I had really good feedback from my clients at that time that they love my eyebrow work because of just makeup. So then I had my brows microbladed and it came out great, and I loved what my brows looked like. I loved waking up, feeling beautiful, and how confident I felt after microblading. And so I started looking into a program here in Calgary. And what essentially happened was I enrolled in the program, and I just kind of started one by one doing a client here and there. And I really just fell in love with the art. I fell in love with the art first, which is the nano brow technique and the microblading technique and the hair stroke technique. And then eventually I fell in love with the business aspect of it as well. And now flash forward, it's been 8 years being in this industry. And it's just so incredible because I started out with microblading, and then I went into nano brows, and now it's shaded strokes. So what the industry is telling you is that strokes will never go out of style. Strokes will always be in style, and within these 8 years, it's just different variations of it. And I just love it.
No, that's amazing. So, in such a short span, and again, I've been acknowledging and observing everything that you've been doing over the past couple of years, but walk us through like the business aspect side of things, because I know a little bit about your story, obviously, but to share with everybody here, like the grind and the hustle and the work that you had to put in the beginning.
I love the feeling of making people feel beautiful in their own skin. And so I just love that aspect. And with that, knowing what I loved, it just snowballed into so many different avenues of business for me. So when I found out, I think it was maybe client number 5 that I had done. And so I got clients from kind of like my friends and family, of course, first. So some people that trusted me, but I did some makeup, so I had a little bit more trust built from doing actual makeup. And so friends, family, and I tattooed them first. And then I think it was client number 5. And I was like, wow, I just spent 4 hours literally doing what I love. And in a blink of an eye, it's been 4 hours. Like, it didn't even feel the same as when I was working at a restaurant as a server. 4 hours would feel like an eternity for me at a restaurant as a server. And so that's when I knew right from the beginning that I was going to love what I was going to do. And from there, I figured out ways to do it more. So how did I do it more? I started to post more on Instagram, and I started to find more models, charging really, really cheap, even free at some points for sure. And so I would do promotions what I would do is I would tattoo my client, which was at that time like $100, maybe even $50 at that point. And I'd be like, hey, so if you love your brows, refer a friend and I'll give you a free touch up. And then just thinking about ways where I can like give my client that I currently have in my chair some sort of reward for recommending me more of their friends to come to me. So I was just thinking of ways to do that. And one of them is like the referral program. So having them refer their friends to me, I was going to give them a free touch up. And I would be like, but if you didn't, I would have to charge like $50 for that touch up. And then they're like, okay, I'll just tell mom, and your price is so cheap that like it just makes sense for people to try it out. And of course the end tagline is always like, why don't you try it? Like, what is holding you back? There is nothing to lose from this. And from there I started to, of course, post more, get more recommendations, offer more discounts, more deals. And because I touch skin so much and I started to tattoo 5 days a week, I was able to quit my side job, which was serving at that time and doing like makeup on the side. I had 3 jobs at the time, and I was able to slowly quit those jobs and do permanent makeup full time. And I remember I was able to do that after 2 years of being certified with permanent makeup.
Awesome. And then that's amazing. And so I love that how you always share that it was like the grind and the hustle, and so inspiring, especially in the beginning. And you were essentially working it was like a home studio for the longest time.
Yeah. So out of the 8 years that I was tattooing and I had a full-blown business, I had 50,000 followers on Instagram at that time. And for 5 years, I tattooed at my legal home business. Legal home business.
I like how you threw the legal in there.
Yeah, so in certain parts of Canada, it is legal and you are able to have a business license within your house and do that legally. So that's what I did. I did clients every single day in my basement, and I put in the work, saved a lot of money. I'll tell you right now, I saved a lot of money and I had way less headaches. And I mean, if your city allows that, definitely jump into that opportunity. If your city does not, then of course, look into other avenues where you can share a space with somebody so that the cost is a little bit lower to rent a space, like as in like share a spot, like have 3 days for yourself, 3 days for someone else, and vice versa, And so figuring out things that will break down your cost so that you make more, and then from there you can invest in yourself more, invest in marketing, have more free time over time.
Love it so much. I love how you bring that up, because I feel like, especially in this industry, what we find a lot is that people are spending a lot of unnecessary expenses when they need to be focusing that time, effort, and energy on actually the things that's getting them money, aka new clients. So I'm glad that you brought that up. I don't know if you guys have seen Lili's social media, but I feel like you have no breaks, all gas, no breaks. It's literally every weekend. If you guys go to everyone, I want everyone after this to go not only follow Lili, but look at her tour dates. It's like one weekend is in like Australia, and then in London, and then in Calgary, and then in
I have
Miami.
no excuses. I have no children. I just love what I do, So, and even if you have children, you can still love what you do. But I have no excuses. I work on weekends.
Yeah. So let's dive more into the technique. Because obviously you'll be at PMU World, you'll be going over nano brows, and I know you touched a little bit in the beginning, but what can people look forward to specifically with your presentation?
So how to stretch the skin properly, how to correctly bring the hair flow of the hair strokes into the brow so that you can create a structured look like this. Or where Amanda's presentation, we're going to be creating the fluffy look as well, where some people only want a little bit here and there, and they don't want the full-blown structured brow like me. So the great thing about knowing the 2 techniques within our presentation is that we're able to cover both types of clientele, because we usually have 2 types of clienteles that walk into the door when they want permanent makeup on their brows. They either want it bold, structured, and almost like an ombre brow, but still hair strokes, or they want it that no one knows that they got permanent makeup done, and they want it so soft that you don't see anything. They just want to fill in some gaps. So what our presentation will really go over is really those two techniques, so that you can have that really clean look, which is all the hair strokes are in a nice row in a line and getting that really clean, healed result, versus the shaded look where you're going to be able to just fill in gaps and give that never been tattooed kind of look. So that's what we are going to specialize in our presentation.
Love it. And how do you feel about having Amanda up on stage with you this time?
Yeah, definitely.
I know that's a very
this
different
is going to be
structure
super exciting. Like, even during all of our other presentations that we have done together, she's been by my side and helping me, giving me ideas during my speech and everything like that. So honestly, with her being on stage, it's not going to be any different than what we've seen before. It's going to be, if anything, way better.
Way better. We have a question. I think it's going back to your marketing and business advice.
Yeah,
you start with cheap prices. How do you know when to raise them to the typical prices?
And I know is when my one a month is fully booked. Okay, so if you are at, let's say, $250 price point, and the month of February, you're trying to book out your $250 price point, and you've done all your marketing, you're saying like, friends, family, let's book, and half of it's filled. You're only filled from February 1st to February 15th. That's not time to raise your prices. That's not time. You raise your prices when all of February is filled and you're booking into March, because price is by demand, right? The more demand there is on a product, the higher the price point. If there's not enough demand, then you can't raise the price, because there's not enough value for people to want to purchase that at that moment. But demand can be created, right? It can be created through your work, how you advertise it, how you say what it is in a package deal. And Danny talks about this in his presentation, is you can package it in a way that sounds better. That sounds better when they buy something, like they buy their nano brows, they get a free touch-up, they get free mapping service, they get an aftercare kit. It's the way you package it. And then from there, you can, start to sell a little bit more and then do more clients. But again, it's all by demand. Like, if you raise your prices a little bit too soon, it actually will kick you in the butt. And then you'll find yourself not fully booked out.
Yeah, one of my favorite things about interviewing Lili is that she's just super blunt, and I feel like there's a lot of people out there that just kind of raise their prices on a whim, or they're like, oh, my trainer said I should be charging this much, when in reality there's so many variables that affect that.
We have a lot of PMU artists that are really good. So we have to start a little bit lower, because we have people like Shay Danielle, who is really good. We have people like Hoy Tattoo, who's an expert. Yes, it is a little bit harder to charge like $1,000 right away.
I love it. So there's two questions. I'm going to ask the first one first. And someone basically said they worked for a year and they didn't make more than $5,000, so they want to give up. I think this is a very important point to address. So for, let's say, an artist who's been either looking to get into the industry, they're sort of new, or let's say they've been in the game for the past year or so and they're just not getting any traction, and they're feeling like, it's not working. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I totally
what sort of
understand
advice
that.
do you have?
My first year, I wasn't making like a lot of money. If anything, I was breaking even, right? You're breaking even from what you invested in the course, products, and then what you actually did for your services, right? You break even. And so first year, most businesses break even. Most businesses. So it doesn't matter if it's PMU, restaurant, or any business, you're most likely going to break even because of the investment that was taken to do the service. I think it breaks down to, you really have to understand and break it down, like, do you love what you currently do? Do you love this? If you love permanent makeup, you love making people feel beautiful, and you love the feeling that you get after you offer the service to somebody, and you love connecting with people, then you should continue this. Because what is the alternative? Making people feel beautiful, offering the service, continuing and not giving up? Or do you go back to your 9-to-5 desk job where you're not going to be giving as much out there and maybe it's not as fulfilling? What is the alternative? That's where you have to weigh. Yes, money is important. It is very important because it's survival, right? But at the end of the day, we have to love what we do in order for us to continue and be 60 and be like, why didn't I continue that business? I should have done that at that point. And that you should never have regrets. So really dig deep down. If you're at that point, at your lowest point, you have to understand and really write down, what do you love about this service? What do you love about permanent makeup? What do you love about giving that feeling? And what do you love about your other job? And weigh the options.
That was amazing, Lily. Thank you so much for that. There's a lot of questions around like structure around the event. We'll go into that. We'll have a whole like section that I'm gonna ask Lily questions about that. So anything around like PMU World structure and experience, we'll talk about in like the next couple of minutes here. But Lily, anything else to let the audience know in terms of what to look forward to when it comes to your presentation, specifically with yours?
If you are really struggling with your healed results and you're not getting 100% retention or 80% retention with your hair strokes, this presentation will help you, because I really teach basically what I know is my product. And I know that the nanobrow technique gives you best retention for all skin types. And that's what you're going to gain out of this presentation, is you're going to be able to offer hair stroke techniques to all skin types. You don't have to worry about oily skin. You don't have to worry about mature skin. You don't have to worry about sensitive skin and coffee and all those things that you shouldn't have to worry about. And turning clients away, never again. So when you leave my presentation, you will be 100% sold that you don't ever want to microblade again, and you want to pick up that machine and be able to tattoo all skin types. So I microbladed for 1 year before I transitioned to nanobrows.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons I discontinued doing that service was because I was telling clients I can't do them based on their skin type, based on their age or something like that. I just could not do it. And at that time, I didn't know how to do the shading technique. It was not popular. People didn't want powder brows 8 years ago. So I had to turn clients away. And through there, I was like, there has to be a better way. Like, I can't turn 50% of my clients away just because they are not a candidate for my service. Then who am I going to tattoo? So then I started researching, and I found Alan Spadone on Instagram. And he recently followed me, by the way. He's got like 500,000 followers, and he's like a celebrity in Brazil, pretty much. I saw his page, and he was doing the nanobrow technique. And this was in 2015 that I saw he was doing the nanobrow technique. I was like, okay. And so I ended up buying a machine and slowly teaching myself that technique. And since then, I never turned back. I never, ever wished that I could microblade a set of brows, because again, with this technique, you never have to turn people away. Hair strokes stay, 80% retention. It's just, who doesn't want to use a PMU machine versus a microblade? There's just so many less variables when you're doing it. If you're physically and emotionally not ready to tattoo someone because you didn't have the right training or it just was not all together, then at least, at the bare minimum, try eyebrow mapping. Do some eyebrow mapping every single day. Shape someone's brows every single day. Stretch their skin. So this is all part of touching someone's face. Because once you get brow mapping down as a technique, and you're not scared of brow mapping and touching their face and stretching their skin and getting up close, then the tattooing part is going to feel less daunting. So that's my first suggestion. Touch skin, stretch skin, do something with skin. You just got to get in there. I don't know why, but a lot of people, I find, my students included, don't want to tell their friends and family that they are now tattooing faces for a living. And I don't know why, because these are going to be the people that you're going to be tattooing right off the bat, and that you need their support. And so what I would do is I would convert my personal Instagram into my business Instagram. Delete all the random pictures you have going out on New Year's Eve, delete them all, and then change the name to your new business name. And now this is now your business page, and all your friends and family is all on there watching. So that's my second tip for you. And the third tip is really, I would try to, I would check out the competition in your city, check out their work, compare their pictures, and see what they're doing. So a lot of people, what I see is they feel a little bit intimidated by some of the girls in their city that are doing well. But when someone's doing well, as in like another person, they're doing well in permanent makeup and they're doing something good, right? Follow their pattern, copy them, copy every single thing they're doing. I know that sounds weird, but it's a blueprint, especially on Instagram. It's a blueprint. So when I first started, I was obviously not good. You'll see some of my not cute work really soon here. I'll post. Yeah, it is. I posted.
Is it still there?
No, I'll make it my most recent
So I
post
scroll
now
down
for you guys to see.
like 3,000.
It was not good.
But
then there was people that were really good in my city, and one of them was Hoi Tattoo. She's really good. She started before me, and she was very good. And so I started to look at her page, and I started to mimic the way that she would take pictures because I knew her pictures were working. And so I started to angle it in a way that I knew that she was kind of doing it. And at some point, everyone started doing it the same. So when you see someone that you look up to, that you know that they're doing well, you know they do good work, copy their blueprint.
Beautiful. I love that so much. I also love how you're not in like the scarcity mindset, right? And every time that we talk, there's always this mentality of like, let's collaborate, let's win together. There's enough piece of the pie for everybody. Let's advance the industry together. And I just love how you always have that approach versus I think sometimes there's like this, okay, like there's always this competition versus like, how can we actually work together?
That is so, it shows a lot of empathy, and it shows, it just shows a lot to be able to let other people also do better than you. Like, I'm good at this, I'm good at nano brows, I'm good at this, but Amanda's going to be good at shaded strokes, and that's fine. Like, she can be the queen of shaded strokes, she can be queen of nano too. Everyone's going to have their thing, and that's okay. If every single PMU artist in this world was really, really good, the PMU industry would blow up.
Lili, thank you so much for coming on today, hanging out with us. You guys cannot miss Lili.
Thank you for joining us on this PMU journey. We hope you found inspiration and actionable insights to elevate your career in permanent makeup. To stay updated on the latest trends, tips, and exclusive content, be sure to follow us on social media at Highstroke Media. Don't miss out on our upcoming episodes and exciting PMU news. Until next time, keep creating beauty one stroke at a time.